Instagram's AI photo editor can impersonate you so convincingly that even your friends won't know it's fake. And Meta knew this was a problem before they shipped it. Last month, Meta rolled out an AI-powered editing tool on Instagram. On the surface, it sounds great. You take a photo, the AI tweaks your lighting, your skin tone, your expression. Click a button, look better instantly. Millions of people are using it right now. But here's what Meta didn't tell you. This tool doesn't just edit your photos. It generates entirely new versions of you. New faces, new expressions, new yous that never actually existed. Let me break down why that's dangerous, and why Meta saw the risk coming and did almost nothing. First, the tech itself. The AI model Meta built doesn't work like traditional photo filters. It doesn't just brighten your image or smooth your skin. It actually reconstructs your face using generative AI, the same kind of technology that powers deepfakes. When you use the Instagram editor, you're not just adjusting pixels. You're asking an AI to imagine what you'd look like if you were smiling wider, or if your skin was smoother, or if you were in better lighting. That AI has to understand your facial structure, your proportions, your unique features, and then generate a version of you that looks plausible. Now, here's where it gets darker. Those generated images are indistinguishable from real photos to most people. A study from Stanford and UC Berkeley, released just weeks before Meta shipped this tool, showed that AI-generated faces now fool human viewers about 80% of the time. 80%. That's not a small margin. That means if you post an edited photo using Meta's tool and your friend sees it, they have a 1 in 5 chance of even suspecting it's been artificially altered. The other 4 times, they'll assume it's just you on a good day. But here's the thing that actually matters. Meta knew this risk existed. In fact, they had a research team studying it. Internal documents, which came out during the Meta Files investigation by researchers at Stanford, show that Meta's own scientists flagged the deepfake potential of generative photo editing back in 2022. They wrote about it. They modeled it. They understood that tools like this could be misused for impersonation, for fraud, for spreading misinformation. And then Meta built it anyway. Why? Because the business case was too good to ignore. Instagram's engagement is struggling. TikTok is eating their lunch. Users spend less time on Instagram than they used to. But AI-powered editing? That's a feature that keeps people in the app. You take a photo. You edit it. You compare versions. You tweak it again. You spend time. You see ads. You're engaged. The algorithm wins. Meta did add some safeguards. They added a watermark to heavily edited images, a tiny, almost invisible label that says the photo's been modified. But here's the problem with that approach. Almost nobody knows to look for it. And even if they did, a watermark doesn't stop you from screenshotting the edited image and sharing it without the label. It doesn't stop someone from using that edited photo to impersonate you elsewhere. It doesn't stop the spread. The real risk isn't just personal vanity. It's 3 things that should genuinely worry you. First, identity fraud. Someone takes your photo from Instagram, uses the AI editor to generate convincing variations of you, different angles, different expressions, and uses those images to create a fake account in your name. They catfish people. They run scams. They damage your reputation. And the images are so good that your actual friends might not even notice the account isn't real until it's too late. This is already happening. There are reports of scammers using AI-generated faces to create fake dating profiles, fake LinkedIn accounts, fake everything. Adding an easy, mainstream tool to generate those faces just makes the problem worse. Second, election interference and misinformation. Imagine a photo of a politician saying something inflammatory, doing something unethical, in a compromising situation. Now imagine that photo was generated using a tool like this, but shared without the watermark, without context, just dropped into the news cycle. We're already seeing AI-generated images used in misinformation campaigns. Making the tools easier to use, embedding them in the platforms where billions of people live, just accelerates that problem. And by the time people realize an image is fake, it's already been shared 1 million times. Third, the erosion of trust in images themselves. We're entering an era where you can't trust what you see. A photo used to be evidence. Now it's just a starting point. And that has real consequences. If you can't trust images, what can you trust? How do you verify anything online? Meta's betting that the engagement boost is worth that risk. They're betting that the upside of keeping users in the app outweighs the downside of making it easier to spread convincing fakes. And based on their history, they're probably right. They'll make money. But here's what's wild. They could have done this differently. They could have required explicit consent before sharing edited photos. They could have made the watermark permanent and impossible to remove. They could have limited how drastically the AI can alter your face. They could have required users to disclose that a photo has been AI edited before posting it publicly. They could have done a ton of things. Instead, they built the tool, added a label that nobody notices, and shipped it. The reason is simple. Friction kills engagement. Every safeguard they add is a reason for users to not use the tool or to use it less. And engagement is everything. So they minimize the friction and minimize the safeguards. This is the pattern with Meta. They identify a risk. Their researchers document it. And then they ship the product anyway, betting that the benefit to the company outweighs the harm to users and society. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're wrong. But they're almost always betting that you won't notice, or that by the time you do, the tool will be so embedded in how people use Instagram that changing it would be too expensive. So what should you do? First, be skeptical of photos. If someone you know posts a photo that looks unusually good or unusually different from how they normally look, it might be AI edited. Second, don't assume that a photo is real just because it came from someone you trust. They might not even know it's been altered. Third, push back on platforms. Call it out when you see it. Report it. Make it clear that you care about this stuff. And finally, understand what's happening. Meta is making it easier to impersonate, to deceive, and to spread misinformation. They're doing it because it makes money, and they're betting that you're too busy scrolling to notice. If you want to actually understand what's happening on the platforms you use every day and why these companies keep making choices that feel wrong, subscribe. I break down these stories every few days. The ones that matter, the ones the companies don't want you to focus on. Thanks for watching.